What's up, Utah Mammoth fans, and welcome into your Utah Mammoth Daily Update. Today's it. We have preseason hockey. I hope you're as excited as I am to finally see the guys put on the kit, the pads, the tape, the helmets, and taking out their false teeth and getting ready to trade some paint with a different team for a change. So I'm very excited about that. So if there's one word the coaching staff is hammering home right now, though, it's identity. Coach Andre Tourigny, a guy I really like, has been consistent in his message. This team has to be faster, tougher, and harder to play against. He doesn't want Utah to be a novelty expansion story or toy anymore. He wants them to be a team you circle on the calendar because they're going to push you for 60 minutes and 200 feet at a time. The players echoed that during media day. Brandon Tanev talked about culture. Clayton Keller said he wants to set the tone as the face of the franchise. A title he was reticent. Oh, man, that was hard to say. A title he was reticent to take on last year, but now he has embraced it. And even the preferred tryout guys, not the pay time off guys, the PTO guys, the ones just scratching for a shot, are buying into the messaging. That's important because with preseason right around the corner, in fact, today, this group has to send a message to the league that the Mammoth aren't just here to play spoiler. They're here to belong. And I think they are. I think they're playoff bound this year if I had my druthers. So, of course, being part of the league spotlight means you don't just get judged by your camp. You also get judged by your stars. And a couple Mammoth names were left off some pretty big rosters this week. The NHL released its first round of roster reveals for the 2026 Four Nations 2026 Olympics. My goodness, I almost said Four Nations Face-Off. I don't know why. It's the Olympics. It's bigger than the Four Nations Face-Off. And Mammoth fans weren't too thrilled with the results. Team USA and Team Canada made their early selections, and a couple Utah standouts were snubbed. Like Team Canada and USA were the big ones. Obviously, Sweden, Germany, Czechia. They also released their first rounds. And there were a few names left off. J.J. Peterka, who had over 60 points last year, wasn't on Germany's initial list, shockingly to me. He almost seems like he'd be a lock right up there with Leon Draisaitl, but hey, what do I know? Though he's still in the running. And players like Clayton Keller and Logan Cooley, who, by the way, just won gold in a tournament that the U.S. hasn't won since the Great Depression. Yeah, that happened. Many thought had outside chances, and personally, I thought Clayton Keller was a lock because he was the captain of that team. They didn't crack the group. Now, are these permanent snubs? No. Maybe. Who knows? I think Utah hockey has a vendetta against Clayton Keller. I don't know why. No, final rosters don't lock until later this year, around December, January-ish. But you can bet this lights a fire, for sure. As if Clayton Keller and Logan Cooley needed yet another fire lit under them. But hey, this only helps. Players at this level don't take kindly to being overlooked. For Utah, that's not a bad thing. A motivated Keller, a driven Cooley, and a hungry Peterka, that only helps this team. It also underscores a reality. The Mammoth are still building their reputation league-wide. Respect doesn't come fast in the NHL. You have to earn it. And if you want to earn it, you need more than just your stars. You need the entire roster pulling its weight. So, which brings us to some of the quieter battles happening in camp. They may be quiet, but they are raging. Training camp isn't just about the top six or starting goalie. It's about the guys fighting for their hockey lives. And Utah has a ton of competition there. On defense, with Juuso Välimäki out until winter, the door is open, as well as with Ian Cole being long in the tooth. He's my age, which is old for hockey. There's some potential spots available. Someone like Leighton Moore, who's here on a preferred tryout, could carve out a role if he shows steady play in the preseason. He could even leapfrog the young guys like Maverick Lamoureux, Artem Duda, and Dmitry Simashev. It's possible. Up front, keep an eye on Sammy Walker and Ty Tullio. They're not household names, but they have played in NHL games before, and they're skating like their hockey lives depend on it because they just might. A couple of strong exhibition games, and suddenly they're not just camp bodies, they are legitimate bottom six options, and could even get plucked by other teams. And don't forget about the blue-collar guys. Alex Kerfoot is still valuable on special teams. I would like to see him score a little bit more, but that's just not in his game. Brandon Tanev's energy is contagious. He's already bruising up his teammates in training camp. It's very fun to see. And these aren't the flashy names, but they're exactly the types of players who tilt close games in your favor with high energy plays, with diving in front of shots during penalty kill. That's what the Mammoth really need. So while fans focus on Clayton Keller and Logan Cooley, don't sleep on the fact that the Mammoth's depth could look very different by October, which is kind of exciting for me. I don't know about you guys, but I like it. Death battles are fun. But let's be honest. Everyone wants to know about trades, myself included. I mean, trades are fun. Rumors are great. And there are a couple of rumors floating that are worth your attention. Some that I have talked about before. Others that might be new to you. So let's close things out with the rumor mill because it's never quiet around a young franchise. First, we all know about Connor Ingram. He's done here. He has hit the waiver wire, but I do know he has hit the waiver wire with the attention of GM Bill Armstrong navigating him to a preferred destination, whether that's via trade or, some backroom dealings with other GMs. That is a thing that's going to be happening for Connor Ingram. So that's a very classy way for an organization to treat a player who was the starting goalie for the franchise's first ever game. Second, Jack McBain's name is popping up again in Pittsburgh chatter. I don't buy it. He just signed a long-term deal, and he is part of Utah's identity shift to being a little bit more gritty. But it does tell you how the rest of the league views him. And third, a fresh name, the Edmonton Oilers, and not just Connor McDavid or Stuart Skinner. Reports suggest they've sniffed around some of Utah's depth forwards, which could be good news for Utah, getting some of the veteran guys out so that they can get Daniil Boot up, Tidge Aginla, Caleb Desnoyers, Cole Bedoin, get those guys some NHL time. There's nothing concrete, but with their cap crunch over there in Edmonton, they're the kind of team that might look for bargain bin contracts, and the Mammoth have quite a few of those, especially in the bottom six. Of course, one of the rumors I love the most is Mason McTavish remains the big flashy name out there in Anaheim. But what's notable here is that Utah's being linked to multiple types of moves. Not just the blockbuster, but also the practical depth trades. That shows Bill Armstrong is keeping every door open. He's answering every kind of call, and he's always willing to hear what other GMs have to say. And it also means that other GMs view Utah as a willing and capable trade partner as opposed to what was happening in Arizona. So that's fantastic news too. So there you have it. Identity building, Olympic snubs, depth battles, and a fresh round of trade rumors. Training camp is heating up, and preseason is today. Stick with me here on the Utah Mammoth Daily, and I'll continue to talk to you all about everything going on with the team. And until tomorrow, Tusks up.